Hello. This is the Speak 30 Challenge. This is day 11. This one is called a new constitutional amendment. I'm here today to propose a new constitutional amendment. Well, there you go. There Phil goes again. He's got these grandiose ideas. Before you stop the video, hear me out. This morning, I went to my bi-monthly Toastmasters meeting. And during that club meeting, there were a few things that came up that I want to follow up on today in a speech. The first was a table topics question that was something along the lines of, what right do you have as a citizen that you are most grateful for? If I had answered that question, I would have said without hesitation, it is the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. And it reads, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for the redress of grievances. That's the entire First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, or to the Bill of Rights in the U.S. Constitution. Without this amendment in place, specifically the parts that relate to freedom of speech, you cannot guarantee any other part of the U.S. Constitution. Because theoretically, if you take away the right to speak up, for citizens to speak up when those other rights are violated, there's nothing you can do. You can't say boo to government overreach of citizens' rights. Now, there are two arguments, just to lay a little bit of a framework, that I find most compelling for the ultimate importance of free speech in society. The first comes from the famous political philosopher John Stuart Mill, and it goes something like this. If the goal of our speech, if the goal of a situation is to get to the truth, then the best way is to present your argument, and one of three things are going to happen when you put that argument out in the world. You will find that you are 100% correct. Thereby, you have verified your claim and you know it to be true. The second is you will find that you are 100% wrong, and in which case you can hopefully quickly course correct and not argue in falsehood any longer. But the third option, which is the most common, is that you will find it's somewhere between 100% in either direction, in which case you will then by correcting the parts of your argument that are wrong, you will make your overall argument stronger and get closer to the truth. This is Mill. But people often will say, but, yeah, that's all fine and good, but what about all those terrible, awful, heinous things that people say? And this leads me to my second favorite argument, why we need to support the right for free speech. I don't know who made this argument first, but it is a position that is so brilliantly articulated by former ACLU president Nadine Strossen. She argues that the solution for bad speech is more speech. The more we push speech that we find hateful and loathsome underground due to censorship, the more that we run the risk that this speech or these ideas will later find their own censorious abandon on society. It comes down to, if you have a terrible idea, you don't know it's terrible until you put it out into the world. So the sooner we can get that idea out there and have it challenged in the real world, the sooner we can learn and try to reach the truth. With this as a foundation, this gets me to the other point from my meeting this morning at Toastmasters. I want to propose a new constitutional amendment. Now, as I think about it a little bit, I may be better served as adding it as a footnote or an addendum to the current First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Because while the Constitution was designed to protect us from the tyranny of government by establishing these guaranteed rights, what I want to propose is more of an establishment of a responsibility related to the First Amendment. It is that if we have a right to speak, I want to propose that we also have a responsibility to speak well. This occurred to me this morning during my Toastmasters meeting when I listened to a terrific speech by someone in our club who is a self-proclaimed introvert. And it dawned on me, what are we missing as a society because people are unwilling or unable to effectively present their ideas? It got me thinking, why is America the economic and cultural envy of the world? Capitalism, Enlightenment thinking, good geography, all of these are proposed ideas. But no, the reason is that we have historically sought the best ideas that are out there from an increasingly diversified pool of ideas. Whether this is immigrants or women or increasingly groups that were formerly disenfranchised. We are an amazing country at bringing more and more people into the fold to get the best ideas that are out there. And then in the last 30 years, we are supercharging the spread of this information by using the internet. Who is missing from this group? And this is the people who self-select out because they are worried. They don't have the confidence or the skills to get their ideas across. Now, I understand that this is not easy for many of these people or comfortable or right in their wheelhouse. And it's easy for me because at many points in my life, I have been willing to put myself out there and run the risk of making a fool of myself. In fact, some people might say that making a fool of myself is one of the things that I do best. In fact, it may be my superpower. Like I said earlier, maybe a new constitutional amendment is a bit of a stretch, especially in our current political environment. But maybe a big discussion about how we can give everyone the skills to be effective and consistently put their ideas out there so that the rest of us can benefit from them. Thank you.